कांग्रेस वालों को लगता है कि मौसम बिगड़ा है।
मजबूत भारत के लिए मजबूत सरकार, मोदी सरकार।
मैं ગુજરાતમાં ચૂંટણીઓ લડાવી પણ કરી અને ચૂંટણીઓ લડી પણ કરી। अब की बार एनडीए सरकार 400 पार।
Namaste, Jai Hind and good early morning. This Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, the polling booths are open. More than 17 crore voters in phase 3 of the Lok Sabha polls have the right to cast their ballot and they must go and exercise their franchise. The 66% average over phase 1 and 2 has to get up to the 70s, and that's the job from these phases here on, from today onwards. Rahul Shivshankar with me in the studio, Zaka Jacob back air dashing like our netas from Hyderabad back into the studio overnight to be with us. But first up, let's tell you why this phase is critical. Why is it that the BJP is going to go out all guns blazing? Why is it that the opposition, if it believes that it's got a chance, it needs to pull its might and muscle and stop the BJP strike rate and hurt them in this phase? 93 seats in phase 3 and of the 7 phase polls, but more importantly, it's across 11 states and union territories, ladies and gentlemen. The ballot is going to be cast for 1,352 candidates in the fray across 11 states and union territories, and more importantly, 10 union ministers. 10 union ministers are going to test their mettle across the length and breadth of the country. There are 5 former chief ministers also who have thrown their hat in the ring, including Digvijay Singh and Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh. What a story there. The BJP, look at this strike rate the last time around, 71 out of the 93 seats. They want to max out in this phase if they really want to inch up to a 350 number, ladies and gentlemen. If the numbers are and what the experts are saying as far as the first 2 phases, the BJP needs to improve its own strike rate. 42 seats the BJP has held since 2009. 42 of these 93 seats the BJP has held since 2009, and that's critical. 31 seats in phase 3 are from the Hindi heartland. This is where the BJP will really not just amp out the numbers, but in a lot of states they've already maxed out, so they are actually defending more than they are attacking. Single phase poll in all across Gujarat, and that's where our focus will be this morning, because the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and some very important ministers in Modi 2.0 will be casting their ballot across Gujarat. 14 out of the 28 seats are up for grabs in Karnataka, and this is a very critical belt that's also going to perhaps decide the fate of the NDA in Karnataka. Can they get closer or better what they did the last time around? 25 out of 28 seats. We will talk about all of that, but first it's Gujarat, where all seats are going to poll in a single phase, and in a short while from now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be stepping out to cast his franchise. As polling begins for phase 3, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has appealed to voters to exercise their franchise. Exercise your right to vote, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi, urging the voters to come out and vote in record numbers. He himself will be setting up the benchmark, coming out early and trying to vote. He's appealed to the voters. Amit Shah has also turned around and said, go out and vote. We need you to cast your franchise so that the government that's elected eventually has the mandate of majority of Bharat in terms of the voters. And vote for a corruption-free, caste-free system is what Amit Shah has said. He's also said free from dynasticism, elect a government that has experience in public welfare and a blueprint for a developed Bharat. So that's what Amit Shah has also said. Both of them will be stepping out. Amit Shah is contesting from Gandhinagar. Prime Minister, voting booth in Ranep. There is so much to talk about across so many states. We've not even touched Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. Zaka Jacob, first we'll start with Gujarat.
Oh, of course. Well, you look at the map, and you look at the maps for the last many elections, the BJP has swept the state of Gujarat. This time around, again, not much different is expected in terms of the BJP sheer dominance, as we see the Prime Minister making his way to the primary school in Ranip, where he will be casting his vote at 7:30 in the morning. This is a practice that he has had for a number of years now. The last election, the previous election, he casts his vote and then, of course, he leaves and goes and campaigns in another part of the country which is due to go to polls. So he's now setting out an example, not just the voters there in Ahmedabad, but also voters across the country to go first thing in the morning. And I've been traveling. I was in Hyderabad yesterday. It is very, very hot across the length and breadth of this country. So if you are a voter in Gujarat or in Karnataka or any of the seats that's going to polls today in the 90-odd seats, then please go and cast your vote and try and do it first thing in the morning, because the longer you wait, the hotter it gets, and you feel that much more complacent from going to the polls. Rahul Shivshankar is also there with us. So the Prime Minister, this is a tradition, this is a practice that he's followed every election day. Wherever he is, he makes it a point to go to Gujarat, to Ahmedabad, to cast his vote, whether it's for Parliament or for the State Assembly for that matter.
Absolutely, Zaka, and I quite remember that in the last election in 2019, there was even a bit of a controversy because there was an impromptu sort of little walk around the booth, and then a large number of people got extremely exercised because they said, look, at the end of the day, the Prime Minister is not supposed to canvass because he was also holding the lotus. Well, let me just quickly give you a couple of top-line numbers because this is very important. Remember, we are now halfway through, by the end of the day, halfway through the 272, 284 seats will have gone to polls. Now, very importantly, 72 out of 95 seats is where the BJP is dominant. Okay? In these 78 seats, for example, the BJP got more than 40% of the vote. So it's really, it's the BJP territory, this phase 3, and it would want to consolidate. The Congress has never dominated this phase. The numbers are 27 in 2009 across these 95 seats, or 93 or 94 to be specific, and now they're down to 4 in 2019. So look at the implosion of the Congress in this. The big clashes, it's a real contest of big names here, but very importantly, there are 47 bastions, that is seats that have not been won or lost by any one of these parties in 3 elections. So they've always won them in 3 elections, they've never lost them in 3 elections, out of which the BJP holds 42 of these seats.
Yes.
The Congress only 1, the others 4. So this is a seat, this is a phase where the BJP must do well. It'll be counting on Gujarat and Karnataka. Remember, if you take Gujarat and Karnataka together for the BJP, they had 40 seats.
Correct.
Straight off, because they maxed it.
No, and then they have Chhattisgarh. They also have to score in Madhya Pradesh. See,
And Maharashtra.
The challenge is for them that they got 72 seats the last time, 71 out of 93.
Yes.
So where are those 22 seats?
Yeah.
So that's where those 22 seats also the BJP is compelled to max out based on the challenge that it set for itself. Courtesy their Prime Minister, who said that you need to touch 370.
Yeah.
If you want to go by the first 2 phases, they've got a bit of catching up to do in the remaining 5 phases. Aman is there with us. Prime Minister is on his way to Ranip. Payal Mehta also with us. Aman, whereabouts are you? Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Payal, remember the last time, first time he was there, he stepped out and he had the Kamal ka symbol around and they made a huge deal about it. The next time he said, okay, not just the symbol, I'll also do a walkabout in that area. What's planned today, Aman?
Well, Anand, behind me you can see the Nishan Shikshan Shankul. This is where the Prime Minister will be coming at about 7:30 a.m. to cast his vote. So the Prime Minister coming in early, that's also his appeal to voters to come out early and cast their votes because it's very hot, temperature is rising, and he's been impressing that upon everybody in the first 2 phases to come out early and vote. And this is Prime Minister's polling booth. He'll be coming and casting his vote here, standing in a queue with normal people, and then he'll be casting and coming out and showing the finger. Maybe he'll give us a bite. Last time in the assembly elections, he had spoken to the media briefly. We'll have to wait. We are waiting for the Prime Minister here, but Gujarat, Anand, has been a fortress for the BJP, and we see some movement here right now, Anand. And Gujarat has been a fortress for the BJP. I said 26 out of 26 seats in 2014 as well as 2019. This time the BJP has already won the Surat seat unopposed, 60% plus vote share, for the BJP both in 2014, 2019 in Gujarat. You know, even in the assembly elections 2 years back, we saw the BJP winning a record number of 156 seats.
Well, Aman, we've got
in the
Amit Shah
state.
behind you.
This has been the highest, and now you can
Just
see
behind
visuals
those,
of-
the
you can see the
special
visuals
task
of Amit
force
Shah here. Yes.
dress looking very, very sharp in their new gear that they've all got. It's Amit Shah who's come to the Prime Minister's polling booth. He's also got to cast his ballot in a
he'll
short
be
while, but
present
he's
here,
the
Anand, yeah.
but he's the candidate from Gandhinagar.
Yes, this is the seat of Mr. Amit Shah. He's here and he's here to review the preparation before the Prime Minister comes, and the Amit Shah will be will be casting his vote a short distance away from here at around 9:30 a.m. But Amit Shah here to review the preparations ahead of the Prime Minister visit. The Prime Minister is expected in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Anand here, and as I was saying, Amit Shah himself, the candidate here from the
Right.
Gandhinagar seat, a seat which he took over from Mr. L.
Let me also get a quick word in with Payal
Payal
also. Payal, Amit Shah, exactly 10 minutes before the Prime Minister's arrival. How does this happen like clockwork between the PM and the HM?
Well, the Home Minister is here. He's seeking the mandate from the public, and because he's a contestant from Gandhinagar, a neighbouring constituency from there, but his vote is going to be essentially in Ahmedabad. Naranpura, where Amit Shah has voted from 1989 onwards as well. He, of course, is overseeing the preparation. I remember very distinctly Amit Shah was also here, Anand.
Yes.
In the last Lok Sabha election, when the Prime Minister came out to vote, there you see, and I can actually ask my camera person to show you, that there you see crowds cheering, people clicking pictures while Amit Shah waves out to them. And last time around it was very interesting visuals. While the Prime Minister was waiting for his turn to vote, he was seeing, he was seen playing with Amit Shah's elder grandchild. So that is something also which we have seen Amit Shah over there shaking hands with a young kid over there. Of course, I don't really know what that conversation really is, but Amit Shah actually has a very, very good connect with kids as well, which is something which is not known about him, which is not something which is not been part of his personality, which is there very much there in the public domain. But that is Amit Shah waving out to the crowd, waving out to the public. He of course is there for the Prime Minister to come out and vote. In a bit from now, it is Amit Shah's big day today. He of course will be seeking the mandate from the people, and importantly, Anand, he's seeking a huge mandate this time around. He's seeking to get a lead of at least 10 lakhs is what we are given to understand from sources close to his office as well. So a big day for Gujarat, big day for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, big day for Amit Shah, big day for Gujarat, given the fact that the top two leaders of the party, the top two leaders of the government both hail from Gujarat. While the Prime Minister comes out to do his duty as a citizen of the country, Amit Shah is obviously hoping and that more and more people will come out and vote for him. And of course, this is his second term as a Lok Sabha MP that he's seeking.
Yeah, the other aspect is the sartorial choice is also something which one needs to keep an eye on, Aman, because this time around, Bhagwa is being very proudly and openly flaunted. The Prime Minister also, we spotted him in the car as I think wearing a saffron jacket this time around. Amit Shah has got the flag and the entire saffron gamcha around his shoulder. That's the BJP. Also, it's got the BJP and the Prime Minister's face on the one side. But this is something which is very, very obvious this time around. The Bhagwa there, that is also directly linked to the BJP's party colors, main color or the core color.
Okay. Yes, Anand, definitely. And this is something that if you go around in Ahmedabad, as I've been in the last 2 days, you can see the saffron imprint here very, very prominently. And you see the Home Minister Amit Shah also, wearing this saffron gamcha around his neck. We'll see the Prime Minister also shortly, and we'll see what he's wearing. But, this is the BJP's fortress, Anand. There is no doubt about it. You move around anywhere to speak to people, the limited people we could speak to yesterday in Ahmedabad, people are very, very clear that they are voting for Narendra Modi. They are voting to make him the Prime Minister for the third time. He is the son of the soil, and clearly the vote is for Mr. Modi, and that is a factor which matters. In the assembly elections, that showed that when BJP, people thought that the BJP was on a back foot after the 2017 assembly election when BJP had dropped to about 99 seats. BJP made a roaring comeback, and that was also on the back of the Prime Minister's very, very strong campaign in the last assembly elections 2 years back when the BJP notched up a record margin of 156 seats in the Gujarat assembly. And now we see the Home Minister and the Prime Minister both have held a very, very big campaign in Gujarat for the Lok Sabha elections as well. We saw the Surat seat being won unopposed by the BJP, and the BJP is very confident this time of sweeping Gujarat yet again. Even in the last Lok Sabha elections, Anand, if you remember 2019,
right,
BJP had won each seat by over 2 to 3 lakh average margin.
Yeah,
the gap here is huge.
So they want to win by 10 lakh votes this time around, bringing it into the studio here as we stay with those visuals as Amit Shah has just briskly walked towards the direction where the Prime Minister is going to come through. go. There they are.
Yeah.
The last time that when the Kamal showing happened, one of the explanations was that the party symbol is orange Kamal. But the Prime Minister had shown a lotus which is white. So it cannot be directly. So these loopholes, plugging in the loopholes, certain level of gamesmanship, one has to admit that the BJP has tried to become a past master as far as this gamesmanship is concerned. Just push the ante to the line where you just on the borderline.
That's a very good point, Anand, because remember, the stakes are very high. The stakes are very high, and this phase is critical. Let me tell you, to use a phrase that was popularized by Rahul Gandhi, escape velocity. If the BJP wants escape velocity, it must not just do as well, but perhaps even look to improve. Remember, in this particular phase, the India alliance as a whole has only 10 seats to defend. It's very weak. You're talking about Gujarat. BJP, yes, is favorite in Gujarat. It's not as if it doesn't have its problems. There is a little bit of a Rajput backlash.
Yeah, that Purushottam Rupala has not covered himself in glory.
Absolutely.
He's in contention.
A large
today.
number of the MPs were not repeated from last time. So
14 of them, more than half of them were dropped.
Absolutely. So here there is anti-incumbency also. I'm not saying that that's going to sort of change equation. The BJP is expecting those 26. And look, the Prime Minister is from Gujarat.
Yep.
It's about his Asmita. It's about Gujarati pride. Lot of other factors. So I don't think that'll be a problem. But, you know, just trying to tell you that even in Gujarat, there is a bit of anti-incumbency. Remember, the Congress still has around 25 or 30% of the vote, I think, in Gujarat. It's not exactly a completely dead duck, you know, kind of enterprise. But if, Zaka, let's be honest, there are two states here which will be the key for the BJP. One is Maharashtra and one is Karnataka. And that Lingayat belt, I think, is proving to be an enigma for the BJP. We've had the Prajwal tapes. We've had a lot of other stuff going on.
If you look at, you know, this belt, this is North Karnataka and Western Maharashtra. If you look at just these belts, of course, all 14 seats in Karnataka, the BJP swept. Will they be able to repeat this performance after the Prajwal Revanna tapes, after, of course, some of the candidates there being changed in Northern Karnataka? The Lingayat question that Rahul was referring to last time, the Lingayats were entirely backing Narendra Modi and Yediyurappa. This time around, his son has taken over as the state president. And then you have Western Maharashtra, where it's a four-way fight. The old NCP had 3 seats. The old NCP had 2 seats. We've shaded them in green, which is Baramati and its neighboring constituency. Ajit Pawar's NCP had 3 seats. The Shiv Sena UBT, Mr. Thakre's Sena, they had 2, and the rest belong to the BJP. Western Maharashtra is going to be a seat-by-seat sort of contest. Baramati, of course, being the most high-priced fight because it's between the Thai and the daughter-in-law, between Supriya Sule and, of course, Ajit Pawar. For him, it's a prestige battle because his wife is in fray. So if you look at just this belt, Northern Karnataka and Western Maharashtra, that is where the BJP really needs to amp up the game, particularly in Western Maharashtra, because it's dependent on 2 allies who, frankly, have not been tested. We don't know the electoral strength of either the Shinde faction of the Sena or the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP. So it's untested territory, as it were. On the other side, for the Pawar faction of NCP and for the Thakre faction of the Shiv Sena too, they're fighting on new symbols. And in this, even in this day and age, Rahul, you'll bear me out on this, the election symbol plays a huge role. And the NCP had a huge problem trying to, you know, popularize. It's the Maharashtrian trumpet. It's called the tutare.
Tutari.
Yeah, the tutare. To try and get the voters to understand that, look, this is our symbol, not the clock symbol.
In
that
fact,
itself is
there was a very
big
touching story a few days back from phase 2, where a completely illiterate lady was sort of looking for, you know, the symbols and the faces, and she was very confused. Eventually, she did end up voting for the BJP. But the point is that sometimes the letters don't actually make a difference.
Absolutely.
But, you know, if you really look at Karnataka, I think that's really, and of course, the bastion that you were talking about, Baramati, that I think is a bellwether for this particular phase. If it's all going well
Is it
for
possible
BJP
for us
in
to plot
Maharashtra,
the seats that the BJP did not win, in the sense the 22 seats which
Yeah.
the BJP did not win and where they are, and that
right.
perhaps also ties in with what you're
Anand,
trying to
I
say.
feel that in Maharashtra, Baramati is going to be the bellwether seat. If the BJP or the NDA wins that particular seat, I think the state is in their pocket by and large. If they don't, there's a problem. But if you look at North Karnataka and you look at the assembly map of North Karnataka, just an election which has passed just exactly a year back, dramatic change up in the north.
Absolutely.
We'll come to that, of course, but look, let's look at Maharashtra.
Let me just take you through some of the seats which Anand was saying. Which are the seats that the Congress has in this phase? They have South Goa, from where their candidate this time around, Virashio Fernandes, he's made those controversial comments about Goa having a separate constitution and how the Indian constitution was put on them. In Chhattisgarh, they have one seat, which is Korba, which of course the sitting MP there, Jyotsna Mahant, she's there. She's in a tough fight, but whether or not she'll be able to retain that seat, we'll have to wait and see. There is of course one seat, Malda Dakshin, which again is a high-profile seat because of the politics around CAA, the politics around polarization. The Prime Minister had campaigned in Malda just recently, and he said, I think in one of the interviews subsequently, the kind of crowds that he saw in Malda was unbelievable. So Malda Dakshin is held by the Congress. So these are the only 3 seats that the Congress is holding as far as this phase is concerned. The JDU also has 3 seats. Again, we spoke about this in the last phase as well. In Bihar, I think the great unknown in this election is not so much the BJP candidates. I think BJP is fighting 17 out of 40. But the BJP candidates seem to be okay. The JDU candidates, for example, Jhajarpur, where Rampreet Mandal of the JDU is a sitting MP, he's fighting a tough battle. In Supol, where Dileshwar Kamait of the JDU, and then of course Madhepura, which is where Lalu Prasad Yadav hails from. That was his first seat. His family hails from there. Madhepura, it's been held by the Yadav family, at least in the assembly, for a number of decades now. This is again a prestige battle. Last time the JDU won this. So I think in Bihar, the great unknown really is the JDU and how it's performing, its MPs are performing. The TMC holds 2 seats in Bengal, both in North Bengal. We'll try and zoom in on both of those seats. And then, of course, like I said, in Maharashtra, and this to me is again the great unknown of this election, simply because you have 4 different parties now, 2 of which did not exist in the last election. So let's look at the Western Maharashtra distribution, as it were. The big fight is, of course, in Baramati, which is between Supriya Sule and Sunetra Pawar. And also, you know, in the neighboring seat, which is also held by the old NCP, the Satara seat, where Udayaraj Bhosle of the BJP is now up against Shashikant Shinde. You also have the NCP Ajit Pawar faction, which has 3 MPs, which has 3 seats as of this. And they've changed the candidate as well. In Sindhudurg, for example, Narayan Rane is now fighting Vinayak Raut of the UBT Sena. And then you have in Raigad, where Sunil Tatkare of the NCP, he's the sitting MP. He's up against Anant Gite of the UBT. Of course, Sunil Tatkare has shifted from the Sharad Pawar faction to the Ajit Pawar faction. And then you have Osmanabad, where it was a sitting seat of the NCP before. So again, so you have a multi-cornered contest in at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, of course, you have 2 other seats which were held by the Shiv Sena UBT. So 7 seats out of the 11 that are polling today, 7 seats, it's a multi-cornered contest. So watch out for Maharashtra. I think Rahul, to me, these 2 states, after having traveled a bit to the south, I think for me, Bihar, and particularly how the JDU MPs are going to fare, and Maharashtra.
I mean, look at how complicated it is on the ground for voters, as you were saying. Here's Baramati, nursed by Ajit Pawar. Today his wife is contesting from there. And then there is, of course, Sharad Pawar, the supremo of the NCP. And his daughter, and of course, Ajit Pawar's cousin, is contesting from that very same seat. And the cadre don't know where their loyalties lie. Should they lie with the organizational man, or should they lie with the founder?
No, here's the thing. The fact is, who controlled the administration and who was the person who was on ground with respect to the state? That is going to be very, very critical. And somewhere within the NCP, there are many on ground who, after Sharad Pawar, turned to Ajit Pawar. That's the reason why Ajit Pawar never lost his kind of hold, despite the corruption allegations, despite some of his controversial utterances. Because even through the time of the Mahavikas Aghadi, when Mr. Uddhav Thackeray was unwell and he was indisposed, for 18 months he didn't step into Mantralaya. So who was the one who was controlling the administration through the time of COVID also?
But it was an emotional push.
I agree with Rahul. I think that emotional thing, you speak to...
The emotion is also with Ajit Pawar. Please understand that the emotion there is that I was supposed to be the one who was supposed to lead you guys. And it was not given to me. So there's that. There is the other aspect of it too. I'm saying the other aspect of the pendulum, or the other side of the coin, is Ajit Pawar's stories and his loyalty.
I get that, but I think you speak to reporters who've gone to Baramati and they say it's Sahib versus Dada.
Dada.
So
yeah.
Sahib has made this election like he has in the last elections
Yeah.
as well. He has said, this is my last shot.
Correct.
All right, he's 83, 84 years old. This is my last shot. He's made that whole emotional pivot, and he said, I'm handing over my 50-year political legacy to my daughter. She's a 3-term MP. I want you to make her win again. And it's clear as far as he is concerned that the legacy is being passed on to the daughter. The daughter is the upkeeper of Sharad Pawar's legacy. So he's playing that emotional card. Well, whether it will work outside of Baramati, I don't know. But certainly in Baramati, there is that emotional tugging
And
at
it's
your
also
heartstrings.
not as if the old wily fox hasn't also tried to repair political fences. So
Yeah.
at the regional level, amongst the cooperative, there were some people who had sort of moved
Yes.
away from Sharad Pawar, and he's actually gone to their homes this time. He's visited them. There's been door-to-door campaigning, so to speak, and saying, look, let bygones be bygones. We're in this together. We grew together. We made this place happen together.
But
So-
here's the only caveat which I'm adding. When Mr. Sharad Pawar goes to a place and he says, you vote for me, it's different when he goes to say, you vote for my daughter. That's the only
possible.
aspect that I'm saying. If it was Mr. Pawar on the ticket, it is hands down. Even Ajit Pawar would have gone ahead and said, don't vote for my wife. I'm not even fielding a candidate. I want him to win. But this is the transfer of the legacy. When it comes to the transfer of the legacy, people are looking beyond Pawar Sahib
Why
now.
should one dynasty, just to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
score in the public imagination of another? After all,
But
Ajit Pawar
because
is not somebody
over
who
all
is-
the last 35 to 40 years, the person who's been Mr. Pawar's foot soldier on ground doing the job
Right.
and administratively controlling and working in Maharashtra, working with the people, is Mr. Ajit Pawar.
I think we've got
And
pictures.
that's all. Let's swing back to Gujarat right now, because the Prime Minister and the Home Minister are there, and there you go. These are visuals of the Home Minister taking a walk down as soon as he reached there, and then he walked away to that entrance from where the Prime Minister usually comes. So whether he'll come in that cavalcade or will he walk along with the Home Minister, we'll have to wait and watch. Let's try and get an update from Aman and Payal, who are there. Yes, Aman, over to you and Payal. First up, Aman, what do you see around you? Amit Shah had walked towards your right and then to the far end. Is the Prime Minister anywhere? There he is again. So these are live visuals again. Yes, Aman.
Yes, Anand, the Prime Minister is expected any minute now, and Mr. Amit Shah is taking the rounds here. We could see him going inside, just checking the reviewing of the polling booth, meeting some local voters. He was having a chat with people who had come to this booth to vote. He was having a local chat, and lots of people here to greet Mr. Modi. I can see posters of some people with Mr. Modi here. I can see little children sitting right on top of the barricades there, if you can see.
Yes.
To see.
There was a little girl that Mr. Amit Shah also shook hands
of the
with.
man. Yes. Yeah, this is the popularity, Anand, of the man, I would say. Here he's like a cult status of Mr. Narendra Modi. People flocking here. Thousands are here just to see him vote. So this is the popularity of the man. I have some few locals also with me here. तो मोदी जी के लिए लोग देखने आते हैं वोट डालने के लिए. इतनी पॉपुलैरिटी है क्या मोदी जी
बहुत
का?
ज्यादा, बहुत ही ज्यादा.
Ask them if they have voted yet.
तो ये अब प्रधान आपने वोट डाल दिया, अभी जाएंगे वोट डालने?
अभी पहले देखेंगे फिर वोट डालेंगे.
अच्छा, पहले देखेंगे मोदी जी को, फिर वोट डालेंगे. तो प्रधानमंत्री जी दिल्ली चले गए प्रधानमंत्री बनके, पर गुजरात से नाता नहीं टूटा है उनका.
अरे बहुत ज्यादा गहरा हो रहा है अब तो, दिनों दिन बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है.
अच्छा,
क्योंकि देश के लिए काम हो रहा है वैसे.
आपको लगता है काम किया मोदी जी ने?
हाँ, बहुत काम किया है
जी
बहुत तरक्की की है देश ने.
जी
उनके बनने से बहुत अच्छा काम हो गया.
जी.
बस वैसे तो आतंकवाद है और वो मेन खत्म हो रहा है.
नेशनल सिक्योरिटी पे काम हुआ है.
बहुत ज्यादा ही हो रहा है, क्योंकि कांग्रेस के राज में तो हर 10-15 दिन में तो 1-2 ब्लास्ट होते ही थे.
जी.
और यहाँ पर भी मुख्यमंत्री नहीं थे ना पहले, तो कर्फ्यू लगता था हर हफ्ते 10 दिन में, और आज 20 साल हो गए कभी कर्फ्यू नहीं लगा.
जी. You can see, Anand, people, local Gujaratis here telling us that पहले कर्फ्यू लगता था गुजरात में हर महीने. 20 साल हो गए कर्फ्यू नहीं लगा है. मोदी जी ने नेशनल सिक्योरिटी पे काम किया है. And this couple here, before casting their vote, they are standing here along with us, trying to see, catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister. This is the popularity of the man. He may have gone to Delhi as the Prime Minister, but the person is saying his popularity in Gujarat has only grown.
True,
the
but
bond has even become stronger.
The
Prime
popularity of PM Modi remains, of Amit Shah remains, but the BJP has had its fair share of problems. This time, how have they tided over this Rajput, sentiment after Purushottam Rupala's comment, Payal? They've worked quite a bit to try and assuage feelings there. Is that true? And have they been able to make good?
Well, of course, yes. Yes, of course, Purushottam Rupala, after having made that controversial remarks, Anand has apologized multiple number of times. And in fact, in one of his last appeals, he has said that, you're angry with me, which is okay. I understand you got hurt with what I said, but what has Prime Minister Narendra Modi not done for you? He has empowered the Kshatriya section a lot. He's empowered you guys a lot. So vote for him. That's the appeal that he has actually made. But if BJP sources are to be believed, then, Purushottam Rupala is looking at convincing victories, looking at a convincing margin. That is something which the BJP is completely sure of. The target is only 25 right now because one seat is already in. The Surat candidate is already in. That's already in the BJP's kitty. So that's something which, of course, is not going to be a problem as far as them is concerned. And the impeccable record of Prime Minister Narendra Modi for 2 decades as the Chief Minister of the state and now as the Prime Minister for 1 decade, seeking his third term is something which, of course, a lot of people from Gujarat are really backing on. Just to show our viewers that this is exactly the gate from which the Prime Minister will be going inside. There on your screen, what you see, the gentleman over there is standing. He's Amit Shah's poll agent from Amit Shah's very first term. He's been the longest association that Amit Shah has had in Gujarat politics so far. And of course, over there also you see a lot of people lined up. I can very clearly see there's one portrait that a person is holding up, most definitely standing right there in the center. Must have arrived very early in the morning because he knows that the Prime Minister goes from there. And generally, whenever the Prime Minister sees the public, coming out with something, we've seen that in public rallies also, Anand, that if anybody's come out with some poster, if anybody's come out with anything else, the Prime Minister has been more than happy to oblige, and acknowledge the fact that, yeah, this is the work that is being done. For the people, so early voters now walking in, they're trying to get in so that they can actually go out and really vote. Let's try and understand from them, if we are able to speak to them, they're just going in to vote right now. Because in a bit from now, the Prime Minister will be arriving here. The Prime Minister will be expected here anytime. And to my left, where you can see my video journalist Umesh is going to show you the visuals. This is from where the Prime Minister Anand will be stepping out, and he's expected to take an impromptu roadshow. That's what he had done last time around. He's also expected to give us a comment back. He's expected to take a small impromptu roadshow. Normally, he's seen coming in issues like, in functions like this. He's seen coming in an open jeep, so that's
right.
What we saw last time around as well.
Where is
and 8:30 in the morning is when the Prime Minister goes away.
Where is the
Right, Anand, I can see Prime Minister Narendra. Anand, I can see Prime Minister Narendra Modi's elder brother over there talking to the BJP leaders over there. That's Narendra Modi's elder brother, who's of course there also in queue. Right, Sobha is already there. He's actually also waiting for Prime Minister Narendra Modi and waiting for his turn to vote as well. That's something which we are able to see. So that the gentleman in the jacket is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's elder brother.
Right.
Anand.
The last time around, the PM, I remember, had actually walked across to his house, his elder brother's house, to call on him, where the family had stepped down and then they had a conversation and then he walked back. So that's what happened. This time we see him here. Already there. Hiraba no longer with us, but at this point there are a lot of people around. Aman is still there. Visuals coming through. Amit Shah is in conversation with some of his aides, having discussions. They're all waiting for the Prime Minister. We had seen the Prime Minister's cavalcade already leave Raj Bhavan. So what time are they expected? Aman, any conversation around as to what time he's expected? There you go. We have Mr. Shah's polling agent standing there and having a look at the watch, saying that Prime Minister should have arrived. So any moment now, because 7:30 is the time when it was said on the clock that Prime Minister will come. There are voters who are being allowed to walk across as long as they show their voter IDs and they're walking across to the polling booth to cast their ballot. Yes, Aman, where is the Home Minister? Is he further down the road waiting for the Prime Minister's arrival? And if they're all on foot, so are we expecting the PM also to walk down? Contrary to the jeep that he took last time.
It is expected, Anand, because Mr. Amit Shah has walked right down to that road from the spot where the Prime Minister has arrived. He's expected any minute here now, and maybe he will walk. We'll see. I think the cavalcade will come, and then we'll see what happens. But here is the polling booth where you can see, and Mr. Somabhai Modi, that is the elder brother of the Prime Minister. He's very much standing there also. He's also going to cast his vote. He just lives nearby, and as you said last time, the Prime Minister has just walked to his residence to meet him also. This time he's standing here, he's waiting for the Prime Minister. And here, Anand, the special part, I would say, see, the polling booth is open.
Yes.
Normal people are queuing up and voting as normal. There is no disruption at all in the voting. People are, in fact,
you have your voter.
So
I'm just going to ask you to pause for a bit, Aman, because Payal seemed to have somebody who's just walking across to vote, a senior lady, senior citizen. Yes, Payal.
The senior citizen has done herself proud. She's come out and really voted. Ma'am, how important is it for somebody to come out and vote, in every election? You've just come out and voted. Firstly, just show us your inked finger. You have an inked finger?
आप हिंदी में बोलिए.
आपका जो आपने वोट किया उसका साइन दिखाएंगे हम लोगों को?
वो जो फिंगर दिखाइए.
हाँ. कितना जरूरी होता है मैम वोट करना?
बहुत जरूरी है, बहुत जरूरी है.
गुजरात के लिए कितना अहमियत है वोटिंग के लिए?
मेरे को पूरा भरोसा है सर जीता है।
आप मुझे एक चीज बताइए, आप कितने साल से यहाँ पे वोट कर रहे हैं?
मैं तो 30 साल से इधर कर रही हूँ, 30 साल से इधर कर रही हूँ।
But she is from Kerala.
मेरा एंकर स्टूडियो से पूछ रहा है, आप केरला से हैं?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
केरला में कहाँ से हैं आप?
मैं तो पतनमथिट्टा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में।
कितने साल से गुजरात में हैं आप?
40 साल से।
So Anand, पतनमथिट्टा 40 years, Kerala lady wisely coming out and vote. आप एक्साइटेड है? प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी यहाँ पे आने वाले थोड़ी देर में। आप रुकने वाले नहीं हैं उनको देखने के लिए?
रुकेंगे, उधर खड़े हैं। मेरे को पाँव का थोड़ा तकलीफ है, इसलिए मैं दौड़ के आई। पाँव का थोड़ा दुखता है।
But she's come out. But she's come out early to vote. That's interesting that she's been in Gujarat for the last 40 years. She's from Pathanamthitta, and again, that's a keen contest in Pathanamthitta, where it was Anil Anthony who was the candidate of the BJP. A.K. Antony's son, and it was an Antony versus Antony fight in Pathanamthitta. But here, it is all about Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. It's his constituency. Now, we see the roads, the decks are cleared. I think we see the alertness of the cops, the security that is present there. And that itself shows that any moment now, there could be the arrival of the Prime. There you go. So, they're all on alert. That's the SPG. There you go. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived, and he is not taking a jeep. He's actually going to walk down all the way. So, PM Narendra Modi arriving there and wearing the colors of the BJP on his person in terms of the saffron jacket or the Bhagwa jacket. This time around, far more pronounced from the top leadership of the BJP compared to 2019 or 2014, where it was multicolored, softer colors. But this time around, largely the Prime Minister has been seen wearing the color of the BJP flag, that is the Bhagwa flag, and as they are called, the Saffron Party, wearing it proudly. This is a check jacket this time. And Amit Shah present right there to welcome him with that shawl, the BJP's emblem shawl, which has the flag of the BJP, or it's just a plain, it's a Bhagwa Gamcha that's been put around. And he's taken it off and handed it back to the SPG. Chants of Modi Modi, flags and symbols of the BJP present there, the SPG present there. These are pictures. Just again, another visual, another camera feed that we have cut to, where the Prime Minister has been welcomed and then they're walking down. Aman and Payal, first up asking you, Payal, can you spot the Prime Minister? Is he in your sight, or is he just going to turn the corner and then appear for you?
Expected around any time. My video journalist Umesh is putting those shots, for viewers to really see. The entire area has been completely barricaded. Movement has completely stopped, which clearly means that the Prime Minister is expected to be here anytime now. But his elder brother has just gone inside the polling booth. So we'll keep our visuals to the road where you're expecting the Prime Minister.
He's not in your eye line yet, but he's already come down the street. Yeah. He's walking down the street right now. We've got the live pictures and the feed.
He's expected to be here anytime, Anand, because we've seen Amit Shah also take the same route and go. So that's the visual to my left that we're keeping our camera fixed on. Remember, it's a lot of crowd over here in the morning as well. But we're going to bring in the first visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Of course, he's going to be walking, like you're saying, along with Amit Shah. He was, of course, welcomed there at the arrival point by Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, one of his closest aides for decades together, one of his close confidants even in the government, and somebody who's also part of the same state that he really is in. So even last time around, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to vote, Amit Shah was then the BJP's national president. He was seen accompanying the Prime Minister. We'll have to just wait for a few seconds. I can hear a lot of noise in the background, which clearly means that anytime now you can expect Prime Minister Narendra Modi to arrive at this location where we are standing at. And to the visual that we see right in front of us, that we really see is that we see, right, we will in fact keep those shots to the visuals itself. We'll allow the camera person to get the best view possible as well.
Well, we have the visuals, Pal. We have the visuals. Aman is with us. We have the visuals of the Prime Minister walking down, and he'll just come up to the corner. That's where Aman and Payal are stationed, right at the polling booth. But it's a bit of a walk, a half a kilometer walk. It's right on the intersection of two roads, and he's coming down one road. He will walk into the polling booth and then go. Yes, Aman, can you see the Prime Minister?
Yes, we can see the Prime Minister now. Anand is waving to the crowd as he's walking this road. It's a walk of nearly about 200 meters. He's taking that walk, coming right till the polling booth, and wearing a bright saffron jacket. I can see the Prime Minister from here waving to the crowd. And you look at the popularity of the man, Anand. Even when he's come to poll, we can see thousands of people here on both sides of the road. trying to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister, trying to take a picture of the Prime Minister. I can see some people with the tricolor also, waving the tricolor as the Prime Minister passes from here. And here he is, loud chants as the Prime Minister walks here. This is his backyard, Anand. This is the stronghold of Mr. Narendra Modi. And, you know, even if there's been a minor setback in Gujarat, it is Mr. Modi who's put always the BJP back on track. You were earlier mentioning about the Purushottam Rapala comments, you know, which were trying to hurt the BJP, but it was Mr. Modi who, you know, who did the damage control. He came down to Gujarat on May 2nd. He made a statement in favor of the Kshatriyas. He applauded their sacrifice for the country, made the damage control with Purushottam Rapala, also had to apologize multiple times. And now we can see the Prime Minister directly in our frame. Anand, he's going in, he's meeting some people now. Yes, he's shaking hands with some people there in the crowd who have gathered there to talk to him. Yes, and you can see the Prime Minister there in our frame.
Yeah, he is.
This gesture by the Prime Minister, he's chosen not to driven to the venue. He's chosen to walk, so that personal connect with the people here. And you know, many people here, in fact, waiting to vote, Anand, before first trying to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister, and then they will go inside this voting booths to vote. But you can see the Prime Minister there interacting with the people there, the locals there, having a chat with them.
Yes, and he's also signing. He's just signed. He's autographing a poster or a sketch of his that's been made by one of the people who has handed it out and requested him. As he saw it, it caught his eye. There you go. That's the sketch that's been made, and he's giving it, signing it. There is another one that's been handed over to him. The SPG is standing guard there, and he's looking at them and saying, "Let me do this," and indicating to them, and then handing the pen back. Thanking the people. No comments to any of the media that's waiting there, but just walking straight across, thanking everybody, acknowledging the affection that's being poured out to him by the people waiting there. We can hear a lot of traditional dhol and nagara and music that's being played out there. That's right at that corner, the intersection, and straight ahead is the polling booth. That gentleman there is Mr. Amit Shah's polling agent, and his brother has already gone in. So Narendra Modi's elder brother has already gone in towards, so he's not there right now. He's inside the polling booth. Oh, there he is, right at the entrance. PM Narendra Modi's elder brother waiting for him right at the entrance of the polling booth. The gentleman in the beige jacket, half jacket, that's his elder brother Somabhai. And there you go. Other people also requesting. That little girl who shook hands with Mr. Amit Shah, I think she's been escorted. She's been escorted further there. Yeah, there you go. That's the girl who shook hands with Mr. Amit Shah. And she's being sent back after a photo op and shaking hands with the Prime Minister. And this is PM Narendra Modi meeting his elder brother, greeting him as they walk in together to cast their ballot. So this is PM entering the polling booth to cast his ballot. All arrangements made and overseen by Mr. Amit Shah himself, who was there by around 7:10. It's about 7:45 on the clock. 7:30, the Prime Minister's arrival. Arrives at 7:35, a 10-minute walk down as he acknowledges the support, the people there, and now he is going to wait in the queue. Some people standing there waiting to meet him. An interaction. Let's see if we can get the ambient sound. So the Prime Minister there showing his voter ID slip, his name being verified, checking if you've checked the numbers with the polling agent. There you go. That's his ID proof that he's handed over. That's the voter ID proof. His brother also following suit, doing the same. So following the entire norms, protocols that need to be done as you enter a polling booth to cast your ballot. There the name is being ticked. The voter ID list is being matched. Of course, the polling agents would be at the ready with the names, but the formality has to be done, and there he goes, signs at that register. Every voter is asked to sign against their name, voting number, and then you get inked on the left index finger. So the inking happens, and now the PM will walk towards the EVM machine where he will cast the ballot. So there's a click that happens, and there's an indication that you may go ahead and cast your vote. And there'll be a buzz beep. Sometimes it is, sometimes there's a light that, yeah, there you go. There you heard the beep. And then he will wait for the VVPAT to come through. The printout happens, and then he's come to the other side. So the exact procedure when we go ahead and cast our ballot, cast our vote, and he's thanking everyone. Amit Shah, the candidate for that area, not entering the voting area but standing right outside. The next voter has also followed suit. And the Prime Minister's elder brother will also be going through. And there are chants of Bharat Mata Ki Jai as the PM walks out. Public school in Ranip, which is a traditional voting area, polling booth for the Prime Minister. Prime Minister walking out, followed by the Home Minister Amit Shah. Now we'll have the other camera angle as he steps out of the school. Does he walk to the waiting media and give them a sound bite like he did the last time around? We'll have to wait and watch. There you go. So he's going out again to meet more people. That's the PM walking out, and now looking to his right, the far corner of that road, where he didn't actually walk at all. Aman is back with us. Aman, right behind you, the Prime Minister interacting with people at that corner, right opposite the polling booth. There you go. He's gone back among the crowd, gone back. And I think that gentleman, those two youngsters who were standing right at the corner with the sketch of PM Narendra Modi, he's autographing that sketch too. He's signing that too. Young kids on the shoulders of their parents. There's a big, thick crowd which is already present, waiting to see PM Narendra Modi there. Aman should have the PM right behind him. From his spot, he could see both the PM and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah. Now, does the PM walk across to that media gallery where the waiting media is standing there? Or does he just walk back without speaking with the media? So no interaction as of now. He's walking back down that same road from where he entered and he approached the polling booth. There you go. So that's the cameras. So showing it to the waiting media, the cameras, that I have cast my vote. This time around, there is no symbol around the... so the Kamal is not there.
Yeah. That was the controversy the last time around. They were not supposed to have any party symbol within, I think, 100 meters of the polling station.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
and also when you're walking in, not to wear that symbol. So
well, you know, just for 2 minutes.
He's not wearing it this time,
If you look at the pictures here as they come through, this is an important, pivotal moment in this campaign, halfway through almost by the end of the day. In fact, more than halfway through by the end of the day. I wonder what thoughts are running through the Prime Minister's mind. In the last 1 week, he's used his time well between phase 2 and phase 3, given several media interviews, really saturated the media with sound bites, thoughts, etc. He realizes the importance of this. And these two phases have also seen a complete and distinct change in the manner in which the Prime Minister has messaged the voter.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the key factor, although, the BJP leaders one after another keep saying that, we're not worried so much about the low voter turnout because it's our voter who's come out. Frankly, there is no discernible way in which you can, with 100% confidence, say it's voter X or voter Y who's actually come out. So yes, voter turnout will be in the back of his mind. Whether or not the intense rhetoric, the polarizing nature of the rhetoric, and you can have, schools of thought on should he be indulging in that kind of language. But the point is that that's a message to the cadre. That's a message to the worker. Please come out and, mobilize more and more support, mobilize more and more of the BJP's voters to come out, because there is a problem. When you're seeing in places like Rajasthan, even in Western Uttar Pradesh, a fall of 4-6%, that is a concern for the BJP. Not so much, I don't think it makes a difference between defeat and victory. What it certainly does is it sends out the message that this is a very thanda election. And you don't want, when the Prime Minister is seeking a record third term and he himself has raised the benchmark, to 400 par and 370 and all of that, you don't want a thanda election. You want an election where people are charged up, they are coming out to vote, they are exercising their franchise as though this election really makes a difference in their lives and makes a difference in the future course and the future trajectory
it's about
of the
legitimacy
country.
at the end of the day. Every government wants to come across as one that has really swept the national
imagination.
But this interaction,
exactly.
the interaction with the people, with 4 SPG, and he's breaking all SPG protocols right now. But this also shows that he feels secure among his people. It's not that he has a problem going amongst the voters, people there, whatever the threat perception. This is also the aspect of tugging at an emotional cord. Let's face it, no matter how much of rational work that you do, you build roads, you build infrastructure, you've studied the economy, you build homes for people, you're giving food security. All of this are not the emotional aspect. These are somewhere fall back as far as the rational measures. And rational measures sometimes don't take, you need an emotional aspect, and you've got to charge someone emotionally.
Even in Bengal, where of course the local administration is really hostile to the Prime Minister, he's got out of his vehicle and he's met with a large number of people. In fact, those visuals from last week were quite symptomatic of this People's Connect. But just look at that screen once and let's think a little bit about the Amit Shah-Modi combination. What a relationship these two individuals actually share.
Yeah.
And think about the seamless manner in which they have come together. And this is very characteristic of the Sangh and the BJP. You had Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Advani. Before that, you had Mr. Govalkar, and you had Shyama Prasad Mukherjee and Deen Dayal Upadhyay. Deen Dayal Upadhyay, of course, was the protege, so to speak, of Mr. M.S. Govalkar. And both of them really pushed the party and the ideology in a different direction. And remember, when it comes to DDU, Deen Dayal Upadhyay, he came up with integral humanism, and at that time, actually before it became the official dogma of the Bharatiya Janata Party, at that time, of course, the Jan Sangh, he had to take a sign-off really from M.S. Govalkar. So fundamentally, this party works very differently from some of the exclusively personality-driven parties that we see. So there is
this whole relationship, I think it's a great point. I think Payal knows quite a bit about this. Apparently, the first time the Prime Minister met with Amit Shah, he was probably in his teens, I believe, at an RSS camp, at a Shakha in Narayanpura. So this whole Jodi, this partnership, Payal, between the Prime Minister and Amit Shah, it goes back 30-40 years. Tell us the origins of it and what makes it tick, this partnership.
Well, of course, there seems to be no lack of trust also. That's the one thing that actually binds the two of them together. We've been hearing multiple stories now and then saying the two and the number one have a difference, but that has never been there. You know, many people within the Gujarat circle joke that they're probably thicker than a man and his wife together. That's the kind of confidence that they have on each other. That's the kind of rapport that they have with each other. They understand each other's signaling very, very well. And Amit Shah is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's most trusted man. Now, why Amit Shah came to the BJP, why he came to the RSS, that's also a different story altogether. Given the fact that Amit Shah's family was completely Gandhian, his mother was a Gandhian, and there were a lot of questions asked on Amit Shah as to why he wanted to go to the RSS in the first place as well. He fought those battles. That's a long story that we'll have to tell our viewers at some point in time. But having said that, this is an unbreakable Jodi, as they said. This is the Jodi which has delivered the most success as far as the BJP is really concerned. Remember from the Gujarat days, where Amit Shah was also the Home Minister, he was also somebody who had been a close aide of Narendra Modi then, to now what we see in the centre as well. There are several bills, crucial bills that Amit Shah has been able to pilot and then, get it passed under the same regime as Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Amit Shah being BJP's most successful president as well under his regime. The BJP won everything from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, if you say that, metamorphically. But that's the kind of success that they've really said, and that's the kind of presence they've really had. And of course, You've seen Amit Shah always play that very subtle, aid to the Prime Minister. He's never seen, boasting about himself. That's something which Amit Shah is very, very, very good at, giving a very, very good messaging, saying that the leader at the top is just one, and the leader is, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That's exactly what the entire BJP really believes in. But, there are days from Gujarat to the fact that when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was coming to the centre in 2014, the big task of winning Uttar Pradesh was handed over to Amit Shah. Amit Shah was the General Secretary.
आप लोग भाई गर्मी में आप लोग दिन रात दौड़ कर रहे हैं, तो आप अपने स्वास्थ्य की भी चिंता कीजिए। और क्योंकि चुनाव के दिनों में पत्रकार साथियों को दिन रात दौड़ना पड़ता है, और आज मीडिया की कंपटीशन भी इतनी है कि आपको समय से आगे दौड़ना पड़ता है। मैं तो यही प्रार्थना करूंगा आप सब पुराने साथियों को कि अपने स्वास्थ्य का जरूर ध्यान रखें। और मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि पानी बहुत पीना चाहिए। जितना ज्यादा पानी पिएंगे तो आपको बहुत स्वास्थ्य के लिए भी ठीक रहेगा और एनर्जी भी मेंटेन रहती है। आज तीसरे चरण का मतदान है। मैं देशवासियों को विशेष रूप से आग्रह करूंगा कि लोकतंत्र में मतदान ये सामान्य दान नहीं है। हमारे देश में दान का एक महात्म्य है, और उसी भाव से देशवासी ज्यादा से ज्यादा मतदान करें। आज तीसरे चरण का मतदान है। अभी और करीब करीब 3 सप्ताह चुनाव अभियान चलेगा। 4 मतदान के दौर आगे भी हैं। मेरा गुजरात में मतदान के नाते यही एक जगह है जहां मैं रेगुलर मतदान करता हूं, और अमित भाई यहां से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के उम्मीदवार के रूप में चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। मैं कल रात को ही आंध्र से आया हूं, अभी गुजरात में हूं। मध्य प्रदेश जाना है, महाराष्ट्र जाना है, फिर तेलंगाना जाना है। तो इतने कम समय में मैं ज्यादा बात तो नहीं कर पाऊंगा, लेकिन मैं गुजरात के मतदाताओं को भी और देश के मतदाताओं का भी हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, जो उत्साह उमंग से मतदान में हिस्सा लेते हैं। आज गुजरात में लोकतंत्रનો उत्सव है। આનંદની વાત એ છે કે પહેલા 2 ચરણમાં જે મતદાન થયું છે, હું ઇલેક્શન કમિશનને પણ અભિનંદન આપીશ, દેશના સુરક્ષા બલોને પણ અભિનંદન આપીશ, અને ચૂંટણીની વ્યવસ્થામાં જોડાયેલા વહીવટી અધિકારીઓને પણ અભિનંદન આપીશ કે પહેલા 2 ચરણમાં ક્યાંક નહિવત હિંસાની ઘટના ધ્યાનમાં આવી છે। અદરવાઇઝ આપણને ખબર છે કે પહેલા ચૂંટણીમાં હિંસાનો દોર ચાલતો હતો। આ વખતે ઇલેક્શન કમિશનની અનેક વ્યવસ્થાઓ, હું ઇલેક્શન કમિશનનું એટલા માટે પણ અભિનંદન કરું છું કે એમણે પૂરું ઇલેક્શન કેમ્પેન વોટર ફ્રેન્ડલી મેનેજમેન્ટમાં એમણે ધ્યાન કેન્દ્રિત કર્યું છે। ઇવન આજે પણ મેં એમની એક ઘડિયાળ જોઈ, જે ઘડિયાળ મતદારને લગાતાર એલર્ટ કરે છે કે તમારું મતદાન થયું, અને બધાના મોબાઈલ પર એ ઘડિયાળ અવેલેબલ છે। તો ઇલેક્શન કમિશને પણ ટેકનોલોજીનો ભરપૂર ઉપયોગ કર્યો છે। અને હું તો મીડિયાના મિત્રોને પણ કહીશ કે हम लोगों ने देश में भारत की चुनावी प्रक्रिया कैसी है, चुनावी मैनेजमेंट कैसा है और दुनिया के लोकतंत्र के लिए ये बहुत ही बड़ा सीखने योग्य एग्जाम्पल है। दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी ने केस स्टडी करना चाहिए। आज दुनिया में करीब 64 कंट्रीज में चुनाव है, उन सबका कंपैरिजन करना चाहिए। और ये वर्ष एक प्रकार से लोकतंत्र का उत्सव न सिर्फ भारत में, पूरी दुनिया में है। और भारत ने दुनिया में जो भी अच्छी चीजें हैं वो चुनावी व्यवस्था में विकसित की है। और मैं मानता हूं कि इलेक्शन कमीशन इसके लिए बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन का अधिकारी है। आप सब मीडिया के मित्र तो अब भारत में 900 से ज्यादा टीवी चैनल्स है, 5000 से ज्यादा दैनिक अखबार निकलते हैं और वो तो पूरी तरह चुनाव के रंग में रंग जाते हैं। और इसलिए हर एक का प्रयास और यही मंथन है जो लोकतंत्र को भी मजबूत करता है और देश को भी मजबूत सरकार देता है। तो मैं इसमें योगदान देने वाले एक लोकतंत्र के महायज्ञ में जो भी जितनी आहुति दे रहा है, सब अभिनंदन के अधिकारी हैं। मैं फिर से देशवासियों को यही कहता हूं कि आज गुजरात में और जहां जहां चुनाव का मतदान का दिवस है, बहुत भारी मात्रा में मतदान करें, लोकतंत्र के पर्व को मनाएं, उत्सव के रूप में मनाएं। मेरी आप सबको बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi there, one soundbite, but then not even two birds with one stone, multiple issues that he's addressed with just that one single soundbite, saying today or in this time, 64 countries are going through the process of elections. And let's see what is the case study or what's the template that Bharat is presenting to the world in terms of election management. At a time when the Election Commission is being lambasted by many corners of the opposition, with the whole flood of accusations and jibes at the Election Commission, he sat there and then he celebrated the Election Commission, saying what you have done on ground to make all polling booths voter friendly is phenomenal, commending the officials, commending the poll management so far in the first two phases, saying largely violence free compared to what we have seen in history or in the past. The other aspect of an elected autocracy, he's then championed the voters, saying you are the ones who are voting, crores of people, and look at the democracy and look at the lakhs of polling booths and polling officers who are across the place and the voters who are coming out to vote, and we need to come out and vote in large numbers. Freedom of media, he talks about 5,000 newspapers and 900 channels. Can we really control 5,000 newspapers and 900 channels? So another aspect, the international narrative, saying learn from us. Don't try and teach us, learn from us how we do it. With more than 140 crore population, 97 crore voters, how are we able to manage elections across seven phases in the manner that we are doing? And lastly, it's the fight against democracy and those who believe that autocracy is the way forward. He says, let's champion democracy, let's champion and celebrate this festival of democracy. Not literally a dance of democracy, ladies and gentlemen, but as a festival of democracy. That's how the Prime Minister has summarized and address multiple issues that will be, of course, focal point of conversation going forward. He wants the media to also talk about how we are doing our elections. We'll talk about that, but first let's see how they're going about the voting business and polling and the challenge for the BJP. The electoral aspect also he talks about, saying, I want you to come out and vote. This time around, the Kamal is not there on the badge, but the Bhagwa is there on the sleeve. So
yeah,
that's how.
I mean, all of that, of course, is symbolic. And, this whole talk about electoral autocracy and so on and so forth, of course, Indian voters do vote in huge numbers, but that doesn't, mean that everything is right about India's democracy. There are, of course, some aberrations, some anomalies, and that is true of all democracies anywhere in the world.
They're all going through certain stress. The election, it's a case study.
Obviously A-grade, administrative work. But again, in that picture, just when he was giving the soundbite, he asked Amit Shah to come closer to him. I'm always fascinated by this relationship between Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. It's not quite the Vajpayee-Advani relationship, because there were more of equals there, had equal and mutual respect for each other. Here, of course, a lot of respect for each other. But you would have to say that there is a bit of guru chela sort of situation here.
Can we just see if you have live audio for it, this interaction? Oh, there's no audio. So the lady there is speaking with PM Modi going right close and talking to the lady there. And I think she's visually impaired. And that's the conversation. That's why the conversation, all the more special. One wonders what we are not getting the audio. There is no audio to this video feed, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, we would have gone to and we would have also loved to listen to what that conversation is. It's just come. Oh, it's come just when the conversation has gotten over. It's come just when the conversation has gotten over. But that lady there, visually impaired, the PM walking right up to her, holding her hand, having a conversation, and she had something to say to him amidst all the noise. He just went right up close to her, put his ear to her mouth, and then heard what she had to say, and then there was an answer and an interaction. Hopefully we'll get that clip and that conversation, what was said later on. But this is the confidence that the Prime Minister espoused. We're talking about the Modi-Shah equation. The fact is that Amit Shah reaches at 7:10, and this is something which is done when the Prime Minister is there, 10 minutes before the Prime Minister's arrival. He is there.
Elaborate on this point. You know, it's a fascinating chemistry they share. It's not really a relationship of equals in that sense. There's a lot of respect though, because each one of them knows that they're very good at what they know best. The Prime Minister, of course, has been a great executor of the policies, etc. And we've seen this from Gujarat. He's a great administrator. Amit Shah is a bit of that. But more importantly, Amit Shah knows the electoral game. He's he's a nuts and bolts man. He's always sort of taken pride in being somebody who knows the pulse of the voter.
Your description that was shared with me by somebody who works closely with the both of them. Is a PM will give you some broad directions about things, and if you say that, you know, this is what I want to do, and he doesn't think it's a good idea or thinks it's difficult, he says, okay, think about it, okay, if that's what you want to do, and basically leave it to you. But Amit Shah is the kind of a 3 a.m. friend, you know, he'll just do a flow chart on just how you can get to where you should be getting to and where you want to get.
And it's fundamentally so different from the Advani-Vajpayee. And look, while of course this is the most electorally successful partnership the BJP has had, let's not take away from what in fact even Deen Dayal Upadhyay did for the BJP, coming up with the first coalition.
But Rahul, why would you want to compare it with any other equation?
I'm not comparing.
There's no need to drop, because this itself.
You are not allowing me to finish. I'm not comparing at all. I'm just saying that just like you can't compare batsmen or jodis, as they say, opening pairs, etc., across generations, I think fundamentally we forget that in the larger context of the victories, the other partnerships also had their very important role in setting the base. Remember, Mr. Modi was Amit Shah to Mr. Advani at the organizational level for a very long time. If you just jog your memory back.
Yes.
So there is this hand-holding capacity in the BJP which we don't really see in other political parties.
But here's the thing: the Advani-Modi equation is different from the Modi-Amit Shah equation. There were equations.
That's the point that Rahul is making.
I'm making that point. I'm only saying that, you know, there are obviously different. The different pairings bring different things to the table. Let me just put it that way. But it's fascinating how pairings are the, how should I say, the fulcrum really around which the BJP continues to pivot. I don't know what's going to be the next one. What do you think? We throw this around the table.
I'm not going to hazard a guess for the next one. I'm still waiting to see this work out, you know, to a logical
Because Amit Shah doesn't seem to, at this moment, have that.
No, he has his people.
I'm just asking you, do you really want them to prove more than what they have done over the last 25 years? Do you really want Amit Shah and Modi to prove more? That means we're still expecting 10 years in power at the center, 15 years in power in the state, and we're still turning around and telling them, I want more from you people. That itself is testimony to what they have delivered, Nistula. You are saying, I still want to see what they will deliver.
No. I'm saying they've still got a road to travel. That's what I'm saying. And this is an epoch-making election. This is the third term, which no other Prime Minister in India has got, aside from our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And it's huge, coming on the back of 30 years of coalition governments. and for a party which we as political observers had and reporters had been told for many years would never happen, that the BJP would get a majority on its own. That was something we were always told.
If BJP for a very long time was an untouchable,
Absolutely.
treated as a political outcast. Political parties were scared to publicly. It's only VP Singh, when he came to power and he used BJP and the left.
No, it was
to
Lohia
come
first.
to power.
Lohia first.
But the SVD...
But it really came out in the open only
Yeah,
after.
that is true. Of course. I mean, the BJP, look, the first time it was
I
really
think they
brought
were
into mainstream
mainstream
was
during the emergency.
the emergency, the Janta era. Before that, if you really look at the way the Samyukta Vidhayak Dal came together, and at that time, Lohia made the first outreach. That was in the after the 67
they had
election.
that Lohia pact.
Absolutely. So I think that, look,
Let's
the BJP is
bring it
driven-
back to
Yes,
the
yeah.
current election,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I just want to get a sense, you know, the area around where the Prime Minister, Ranip, of course, is the place where he spent a lot of his, you know, politically formative years, as it were. And if you look at this area, I mean, it's typical middle class. You have shops and commercial establishments, small schools, lot of children being brought forth, and of course the Prime Minister indulging quite a few of them, giving his autographs and so on. Nisula, I mean, you've covered the PM for some time. This is also a testimony of where he came from and what his, you know, beginnings were, and the fact that he goes back to this place to cast his vote, not just for
No, but
Lok
this is
Sabha.
his hinterland, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, every politician in democratic politics has a hinterland or a kshetra, as they call it, you know, where you derive your primary source of strength before you expand your influence beyond the borders of that. Of course, he has been there for a while, and you know, he's been chief minister in that state for 12 years. He's been a voter there for decades on end. And
No,
if you
when
read,
he came to Delhi, he could have easily changed his voter, booth to Delhi, right?
not if you want to go back and
Yeah, why does he want to
fight
go back?
elections there.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Why does he want to go back?
No, because, you know, that is his place, and everyone claims a spot. You need to claim a
he wants
hinterland.
to retain his
You
connect-
can't be just a Delhi gadfly.
And I think more than
And
that,
expect
he
to be
doesn't
Prime
want to be
Minister.
seen as a Delhi
Yeah.
Darbar Prime Minister.
You can't be a
See,
Delhi
he's
gadfly
always-
and become Prime
he's
Minister in
always
this country.
situated
the
himself as an
fundamental
outsider
discourse
to
of
Lutyens.
this leadership under
So-
PM Modi and them has been
giving
to
autographs.
break it away
What is
and to diffuse the Delhi concentration. He signed it on that lady, the little girls with their mehendi, and he's signing their, you know, his autographs on their hands
don't know how long their hands
indulging
are gonna
them.
get washed.
The fact of the matter is that they have said that we are not going to make everything centered around Delhi. It's not Delhi centric anymore.
Even
With
the G20
it's-
wasn't.
it
Even
was
the
all
G20
G20
wasn't.
That-
But with
all
the
of
PM,
that,
I think the
Anand, that
message is
comes
don't
later.
forget your
Answering
roots.
Zaka's
Never let go of
question
your
is
roots.
that, you know, when you are a politician, Delhi is you have to engage Delhi. But unless you are strong in your own hinterland, there is no way that you can make the leap.
Can I draw a contrast, and Javed Ansari, please weigh in, because you know much more about the Gandhi family than we do. Contrast this with, you know, where the Gandhi family votes. They are essentially South Delhi, Lutyens, Delhiites. Rahul
They are
Gandhi,
New
Sonia
Delhiites.
Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, they all vote in the, what is called the NDMZ
Minor correction,
zone.
they are New Delhiites.
New Delhiites.
I am South Delhi.
Yeah, but you know, like I said,
Myself and Rahul.
the Prime Minister, unlike them, keeps going back to this place. And look at this place. It's not like, you know, Gujarat or Ahmedabad does not have the swanky parts of the city, the malls and, you know, the Sabarmati riverfront and all of that. But this part of town where he hails from, where he cut his political teeth, just look at it. It's middle-class India. It's a reminder of where this man has come from.
Yes, so the difference between him and the Gandhis is that he's from there. The Gandhis are not from Amethi, they are not from Raebareli. You look at Mulayam Singh.
Yeah.
Mulayam Singh was chief minister several times, he was also defense minister, but he went back to Etawah, to Jaswantnagar to vote.
yeah.
Chandrababu Naidu goes back in vote. Sharad Pawar goes back to Baramati in votes. So all those people who've come up from the regions are the ones, they want to retain that foothold there. They want to
And
retain.
don't forget that this, in a sense, is his second sojourn in Delhi. He came here as General Secretary. He was very much at the BJP headquarters, and all of us that was sort of reporting back then went to the BJP headquarters. The Prime Minister was very much there in another avatar, giving the sound bites, doing the rounds of also studios. So he knows Delhi, but actually, as
He didn't know the work. He didn't know the working.
He didn't know how to, and he relied a lot on Mr. Arun Jaitley when he first came in as Prime Minister to sort of crack the Delhi equations.
The speech he gave after the 2019 victory to all the young MPs, and he said, when you come to Delhi, you will meet a lot of sevadars.
Yes.
So basically, Delhi is also a darbar city. You have a lot of courtiers, you have also a lot of middlemen, and you know those kind of characters who promise you the moon. Hum ye karwa denge, wo karwa denge. So he was warning them, you know, from his own experience, don't fall into their trap. And you know,
but
I don't think he had very happy
which is also
associations
from the
with
time
Delhi.
of the fact that Delhi was a seat of for many hundreds of years. It was and then perhaps post-independence, it became the political capital and everything started concentrating into Delhi. Somewhere this leadership says, let's go back to our roots, let's go back and nurture our constituencies. The PM pushing this 303 MPs that you have to go back and nurture your constituency. You've got to go back every week. And that's something that was pushed. R. Rajgopalan also with us. What ticks the Modi-Shah combined? How would you look at that? And the PM going back to his roots, going back to his people, saying, I may have adopted Varanasi, I may have become the Prime Minister, I may be a global leader today, but at the heart of hearts, I am a Gujarati. And I'll come back to Gujarat and to amongst my people.
Anand, Prime Minister is for messaging. Whatever he does, it's a message. Just now, Rahul Shivashankar took the name of Arun Jaitley. I want to reveal certain important secret to the News18 viewers. How Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah relationship work. During the ministry formation, Arun Jaitley was not ill, was not having a good health. There were consultations. Once Mr. Arun Jaitley told me, nearing the conversation of finalizing the list of ministers, Mr. Modi gave 3 options to Mr. Amit Shah. You want to take finance, home, education. And Mr. Arun Jaitley suggested it should be home because lot of work to be done for the RSS, FCRA, the organizations where they get funds, foreign funds for machineries like that. So Mr. Shah was keen on education. Do you know that? A top secret I'm telling you today because Narendra Modi decided you take home. And that was a shock to Mr. Amit Shah because he was aiming at revolution of new education policy, etc. So such was the connection with Mr. Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. And there were differences during the budget sessions, during budget preparations. Mr. Amit Shah will put lot of X, Y, Z. Mr. Arun Jaitley was not at that time finance minister, but I learned from top sources that Mr. Narendra Modi takes the final call between finance ministry and home. So therefore, the messaging is very clear. Apart from that, Anand, June 10th, BJP will take oath of office in Odisha. That is what Prime Minister said in Odisha yesterday. So that means Mr. Narendra Modi has chalked out the program for his swearing-in ceremony and also for June 10th like that. And finally, I would like to ask Ansari, how many total seats Congress is going to contest in this Lok Sabha, Javed? Do you know any figure? Is it less than 250 or 210? What is the number?
It's 300 something. I don't have the exact number, but it's 300 something.
No, I think this time they're not going for more than 270. I think it's about 240 seats, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Rahul is there. Rahul Shivashankar is also here. Mr. Rajgopalan saying 262.
I'll just confirm that for you. It's not more than...
He just said, he's saying 262, Mr. Rajgopalan.
Yeah, it's not 272 for sure. So the Congress can't really win a majority on its own because it's not even contesting those many seats. Let me just confirm
this. This is the lowest ever there.
Lowest ever, yes. So let me
Mr. Rajgopalan, are you saying something? Yeah.
Why I say this? Because there is a stiff fight among the India alliance. That is why Mr. Narendra Modi is, trying to do politics within the India alliance. That is also a major story, Anand. You have
okay, 330. Okay, we stand corrected. It's 330 seats.
330 seats the Congress is contesting overall this time around out of 543. So that number...
It is still the lowest, I think, that the Congress has been contesting. Certainly in the last 20 years, it's the lowest.
Okay, there's some confusion here. There is some confusion.
No.
So it has so far announced 278 candidates. Now, I don't know how many more to go, but this was as far as the last 7 days.
Yeah, so even the nominations for the 5th round has not started.
Yeah, so
And-
278 is where we are.
and you can never-
Candidates from 27 states and 8 union territories.
So what I gathered, it's in
minus 3, Puri, Surat, and also Indore.
Yeah, so they say the thing is that they might fall short. Another 15 candidates they might announce. We don't know. So right now it's 278.
278 minus 3 candidates where the candidates withdrew, that is Surat, Vadodara and one more seat. So there the candidates,
Puri,
that's what
Puri,
he's saying.
but they've got somebody else.
Yeah.
So 275 seats is what Mr. Rajgopalan is saying is their lowest ever that they are actually contesting. So there is also this effort to try and diffuse the India alliance. So politics is the fact that you have to weaken the opposition while you strengthen yourself. But the way the Prime Minister has been doing it is something which is phenomenal. His connect with the people on ground, and this is his bastion. This is his home ground, his own constituency, and people.
One more minute. Anand,
Yes.
One more.
Yes.
Taking the coup from finance, home, defense, education, in 2024 June 10th or 15th, whenever Mr. Narendra Modi takes third time, what portfolio Mr. Amit Shah will get?
Well, that is for Mr. Narendra Modi and that cabinet to
In fact,
decide.
I wanted to
not
ask
for us
Mr.
speculate
Rajagopalan
because
that
we cannot
question.
even come
I'm
out
not
and say
finance.
that the BJP is actually going to coast. It is for the voter to decide. The BJP will make their own point. The BJP.
No, I think he's the insider. I think he knows.
So why don't you tell us? Why don't you tell us? Let's start
us?
with you, Mr. Rajgopalan, because right now, sir, they are into the third phase. We have not even got to about 280 seats being polled. That will happen only by 7 p.m. this evening. So tell us, what do you think is going to happen?
Home. There are more things to be done. He will stay in home only.
So Mr. Amit Shah will continue to be the Union Home Minister
I
if
think
Prime
we're
Minister
getting a
Narendra
little
Modi
ahead
and the
of
BJP come back to
ourselves.
power.
I don't think 272 or 303 has been crossed yet.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to the point that Rahul was trying to make about why the Congress is contesting less seats, and Javed Ansari can weigh in on this. The Congress is taking that tactical call. It could be a wrong call. It could be a call that completely comes unstuck on the 4th of June. The tactical call is that if Mamata Banerjee were to win maximum seats in Bengal, and DMK would win maximum seats in Tamil Nadu, and other alliance partners, Shiv Sena, UBT and NCP were to win in Maharashtra, then the Congress does not need 272. When UPA 1 was formed, and I keep going back to this, Javed Ansari was covering the Congress back then, they had 115. So essentially, this contest, 2024, on the one hand, BJP wants 370 or 400 par or whatever. That's the figure they've set for themselves. The Congress's figure, if they need to have a realistic chance, if the India Alliance needs to have a realistic chance of coming to power, is the Congress needs to cross 100. Where is that coming from, Javed Ansari? They were 52 last time. Where are the extra 48 seats coming from?
Well, for one, I do not know if the extra 48 seats are coming. However, maybe states like they are hoping to make small gains in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh. There is some talk of Madhya Pradesh. Well, if that happens, then the sun will rise from some other direction. They are hoping to make gains in Karnataka, in Telangana, some in Maharashtra. But I do not see them repeating the figure of 2004, which was 116, it was 116. I don't see that happening. And the reason why they've contested less is that they are clear. There's this realization. One, they do not want to spread themselves thin. They want to focus on 100, 150 seats, put all your men, money, resources, whatever, and try and see however many you can get. And they also realize that no matter what they do, they will never, they are in no position to form the government on their own. It will have to be with the help of allies. It will have to be an alliance government.
But what because he's the numbers man within this group right now, and he's got the magic wall, that's exactly that number that he's put out. He said that the Congress has to win 100 seats for the India Alliance anywhere to be in a position to form government or to stick.
No, I'll tell you why.
That's how the arithmetic adds up.
Because the numbers simply don't add up.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the parties, look at the rest of the India Alliance parties, TMC, Samajwadi Party, NCP, Shiv Sena, DMK, will not get 172 on their own.
Precisely. And that's the question, that's what I wanted to look at. There's a fundamental difference between 2004 and 2024. The fundamental difference is that the left came with 40 plus seats back then.
64 seats. They had 64 seats
exactly.
in 2004.
The Shiv Sena, the NCP itself had a significant chunk of seats. You had the DMK that was there with a large number of seats. Today, all of them, unfortunately, are making, and the gains for the Congress will perhaps come at the expense of the other parties, not so much the BJP, as we've already seen.
2014 itself, the NDA was there only in 6 states.
In this phase 3 itself, the seats that are going into polls, the maximum are Congress versus BJP.
Yeah.
In those, BJP has gotten over 71 or 78.
Because the Samajwadi Party
and they had just
imploded.
And in 2004, even in a state like Gujarat, Congress had
Uttar Pradesh
outperformed BJP.
No, Uttar Pradesh, the BJP got less than 50 seats. It was the SP and the BSP that had more than 50 seats.
SP had 40 seats.
Had 40 seats.
That's the best ever performance.
That is a change that has taken place on the sort of geographic, electoral map of India. Uttar Pradesh has gone lock, stock and barrel to the BJP, and you know that old sort of axiom always.
But let's bring back this conversation to another aspect that the BJP needs to do to get anywhere close to the targets that the Prime Minister himself has said. One is to shift the goalpost altogether from 372 to 272 to 370. But for the BJP to max out in their third term, do better and perhaps do a Gujarat. That is that they do a never before. They really have to score big. Third phase, fourth phase, fifth phase, sixth phase, all 7 phases in the remaining 5 phases.
This is the
this
they are defending 73 seats.
72.
Out of the 94 seats that are polling today, BJP has 75 at almost 50% vote share, and I think that's significant as well. The Congress has only 3 out of 94 seats. The Congress has just 3. The JDU has 3. The TMC has 2.
On 78 seats, Zaka, they have more than a 40% vote share.
Yeah. I'm saying in the 75 seats that they won,
exactly what I'm
they have
saying.
close
Why
to 50% vote share.
2004?
Exactly.
In the 75 seats that they won, they have 49% vote share. And mind you, in a multi-cornered contest where you have so many different parties, in Bengal you have TMC, in UP you have SP, in Bihar you have JDU and RJD, for one party to have almost half of all the votes polled. So 1 out of every 2 voters who's casting their ballot last time around in 2019, 1 out of 2 voted for the BJP. They maxed in Gujarat, of course, all 26. All the seats polling today in Madhya Pradesh were won by the BJP. In the Yadav belt, which is polling today, in the Yadav belt last time around, the Samajwadi Party, part of the Yadav belt, the Samajwadi Party had only 2. The remaining 8 seats went to the BJP. In Chhattisgarh, Congress had 1. All the other seats went to the BJP. All 14 seats in northern Karnataka that are voting today, all went to the BJP. In Assam, they had 3 seats that are going to polls today. All 3 were won by the BJP. I think this election, to my mind, of course, if UP remains more or less where it was in 14 and in 19, this election will be decided by Maharashtra, and you can see why I'm getting to Maharashtra, because look at the distribution. Like I said, 2 parties that are there on the ballot this time did not even exist in the last election. That is the NCP Ajit Pawar faction and the Shinde faction of the Sena. In the constituencies that are going to polls today in Western Maharashtra, 2 are held by the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP, 3 by the Ajit Pawar faction of the NCP, 2 by Sena UBT, and the rest 4 by the BJP. Maharashtra, to my mind, is the great unknown of this election. And 2, Javed and Nistula can weigh in on this. Out of the 5 seats in Bihar that are going to polls in this phase, only 1 is held by the BJP, 3 are held by the JDU, and 1 by the LJP. I think Bihar is the other great unknown, simply because this whole change of alliances, it's happened I think 3 times over or 2 times over in the last 5 years. Nitish was with the BJP, went to the Gathbandhan, came back to the BJP. His MPs, how are they faring, I think again is a critical factor. Javed and Mr.
So, if there is a soft underbelly to the BJP alliance in Bihar, it's Nitish Kumar. Whatever gains Lalu and Congress and the left hope to make they are expecting it will be at the cost of the JDU.
Why are those seats weaker compared to where the BJP has sitting MPs?
Yeah, for one, because of Mr. Nitish Kumar's flip-flop politics for the last couple of years. And it's also that it's now 15 years of anti-incumbency. He's been clever enough to be on the side of power, no matter whoever rules Delhi. But one gets the sense that he's reaching now I mean, he's maxed out. He's reaching the end of his game now.
Right.
There's not too much room for him to maneuver.
And
well,
Maharashtra,
I had gone
as
to
we
Maharashtra and I'd spent some considerable time there. There is no wave in that election.
No wave.
No. And the second important thing that I noticed, and it's appeared in the Hindu today as part of an analysis that I did, is that this is just the semi-final. The Lok Sabha election is actually being looked at as a semi-final. Everybody is looking at the horizon beyond, which is the assembly polls in October. So whatever happened in 2019 in terms of splits, the reckoning will happen later. But that doesn't mean that there is no uneasiness among the people about this splitting of parties and the reasons that they attribute that these parties have split, the narratives that different parties are going to the ground with. Even the BJP, they feel that they'll do well because, there is an overwhelming Modi factor in these elections. And in fact, that is the reason why the reckoning will happen later. This is Modi's election. But individually, they have an issue with their allies. And Mr. Shinde has been a very hard bargainer. He has got 15 seats within the Mahayuti. Earlier when we were talking to people about the seat sharing arrangement within the Mahayuti, the NDA as it's called there, they were saying that within single digits, Shinde will get within single digits, BJP will fight almost all the seats, and Ajit Pawar will be given 4 seats and whatever. Yeah. Ajit Pawar got stuck with some 4-5 seats, but Shinde managed to wrest 15 seats, including South Mumbai, Thane, Kalyan, these are important seats. And all of this is just positioning for the assembly election. So that's why the BJP is saying that we'll see whether vote transfer happens. Even those guys have a problem. So there could turn out to be a zero-sum game where everybody comes out even Stevens from this. But they don't expect a repeat of 2009.
I think so. The results from Maharashtra will have a very strong bearing on the overall figure of BJP.
Yeah, the overall figure.
And the battle royal that is taking place in Baramati between Ajit Pawar's wife and Supriya Sule. That is the one to...
Correct. Maharashtra 48, Maharashtra 48, Karnataka 28 and the Bihar 40. This actually comes down, these are the 3 big states in terms of returning numbers.
That Nitish Kumar in this equation is the laggard. Yes, of course, if this was an assembly election, Anand, it might have been the case. But with Modi on the ticket, I think we all know that there will be a back-end consolidation. It's in Maharashtra, which is the more problematic state. Why is it problematic? Because I think Zaka made that point. There's some untested allies. And look at how the UBT and the Sharad Pawar faction of the NCP have gone out there saying that, look, this is more of an emotional election. Yeah. You have to remember that 2 individuals who were the legatees of, a movement, so to speak, are today fighting for their survival and are coming to you for endorsement. Will you endorse them or will you endorse those that have undermined the movement? More than that. So I think fundamentally Nisra is right that there is jockeying for the next assembly election, but I think with Modi on the ticket, 41 is not something that we should discount for the NDA here. Baramati, I think, is the bellwether. Satra and Baramati are the bellwether seats. If they go, then this whole business of the emotional card, etc., etc.
The larger question, Rahul, is with Maharashtra voter is the Maharashtra voter going to do what some of the other states in the past, in the last 10 years have done? Saying that in the center we will elect differently and in the state it will be a different dynamic altogether. Will they go through it, especially with this entire whirlpool of emotions and sentiment that's happening? Just coming back to the pictures right now on our screens, this is after PM has left casting his ballot. It is the Union Home Minister Amit Shah who is now going to go to Narayanpura to cast his ballot. He's a candidate from Gandhinagar. But this is in the society with his members where his family is residing, where he is residing. There was a photo op that happened. We did see Jai Shah there for a bit in the frame, but he moved away from the picture. It was all about his father and those people who have worked with him very closely. And this is Amit Shah just walking out.
He again, I keep coming back to that point. This looks like a normal middle class, for want of a better word, a DDA housing society. It's not one of those high-end condominiums.
It is a high-end area, but it is suburban. Okay. Let me put it this way. I have been to that house. Of course, it looks like a house of a prosperous man, but not like a palace or anything.
Exactly.
And the interesting point is that when Prime Minister walked into his polling station, there was a gentleman there with thick specs and a beard who greeted him. That was Harshad Patel, who used to be and probably is even in this election, Amit Shah's election agent, polling agent across elections. And in the 2022 assembly elections, he was finally given a ticket. He fought from one of these Gandhinagar seats, and safest seat was given to him, and he became finally the candidate. So it was a big deal for him then. But he has been the faithful polling agent for many, many years.
Right. Now, Amit Shah, these are pictures from earlier when the Prime Minister was in Ranip and then he went across. Then after that, we've got pictures of Amit Shah leaving his residence in Narayanpura, going across to the polling booth where he will cast his ballot. Payal is perhaps there. Payal, what's happening around you is, when is Mr. Shah expected?
Mr. Shah is expected at about 9:15. That's the official time that was given to us. Anand, let me just show you. This is the Kameshwar Mahadev temple, and it's always been a tradition of the entire family to come here. First seek the blessings over before the voting takes place. Just the parallel booth where of course Amit Shah will be voting. He's going to be accompanied by his entire family, by his son Jay Shah, by his daughter-in-law, by his wife Sonal Ben Shah. So the entire family comes together, they cast their vote. And then, Amit Shah is going to spend the whole day, we're given to understand, in Gujarat. And, he has been somebody who's been a dedicated party karyakarta, a dedicated party person who understands the process of election very, very well. So his office also telling us that he's not going to have a free day today. After he casts his vote, he's going to go across to various booths across Gandhinagar, where of course he's looking to seek his second term. It was a long held bastion by L.K. Advani, who was a member of parliament since the 90s. From here, Amit Shah was given that seat in 2019. And this is seeking his second term as well. He's also targeting a very big victory margin. This time around, given the fact that the Prime Minister set a target of 400 plus, Amit Shah being one of his trusted lieutenants, one of the key, political strategists as far as the BJP is concerned, and he's been called the Chanakya for obviously he's been called Chanakya for all the obvious reasons. So obviously in a bit from now, we'll see the entire family come together to cast their vote. It's a very, very hot and sultry day. And so all the leaders are in fact choosing to
So they've left. They have left their residence in Narayanpura, Payal. They have left their residence in Narayanpura. So wahan se it is about what, 10 minutes to the temple, Mahadev temple, because they will offer puja and then step out at around 9:10 to go across to the polling booth.
But it should take a little longer than that, because the official timing which has been given to us by the BJP says 9:15, and Amit Shah in fact stays on the SG highway. Narayanpura is where he votes since 1989 as well. He probably is going to go to a couple of societies and encourage people to come out and vote. That is something which of course his office has been telling us. We'll have to just wait to get those shots from the agency which is accompanying him, in fact. So that's something which is awaited. But 9:15 is the official time, so anytime around here you can expect the whole family to be here. They'll be praying at this temple where I'm standing, and that's the reason the security is barricaded that entire entrance to the temple. Of course, they're sanitizing the entire premises, given the fact that Amit Shah is also the Home Minister of the country, and a lot of protocol follows the Home Minister when he really travels. So he's expected to also give us a soundbite once he casts his vote along with his entire family. The entire family, interestingly, Anand, has been a very, very key aspect as far as Amit Shah is really concerned. It was not just his son who, of course, has been doing multiple sabhas and watching what the happenings in the constituency is. Most importantly, it is his daughter-in-law also who's been doing a lot of work. She's been doing a lot of work involving women, in particular, making various schemes available for them, telling them the benefits of the central government scheme. His wife being his key support as well. She's also been out and about campaigning and canvassing for Amit Shah as well. So obviously, there are a lot of people who've done a lot of background work, because Amit Shah generally comes to the Lok Sabha constituency once when he casts his nomination, and the constituency leaders then tell him that, you just stay away, you do the rest of your campaigning, we will ensure that you win. So that's the kind of confidence that they have in the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, and in particular Amit Shah being, somebody who's cast his vote at this very booth since 1989. I remember him telling us very distinctly that 1989 was the first time that he actually cast his vote from here. So obviously in a bit from now we can expect the entire family to be here, and we'll be getting you the pictures first.
Well, the difference of 10 lakh votes, that's the target set. I want to win by a margin of 10 lakh votes, and I'll do that. And he's spoken with News18 multiple times, even at the rally when he was in Gandhinagar. We were there on board of the poll bus, and he said that I'm confident we'll do, and we'll be an apratyashit जीत होगी यहाँ पर भी, गांधीनगर में भी और पूरे देश में भी, is what the Home Minister had said. We're going to take a very, very short break. When we come back, we should have the Shah family just getting into that Mahadev temple ahead of casting their vote. Stay with us.
batters all.
To that, before I come to that, on the Prime Minister, you recently compared the situation of Muslims in India to Jews in Hitler's Germany. Is that not an exaggeration?
No,
given that we've got the highest Muslim population in the subcontinent or around the world, and they're prospering?
I said this in the last parliament session when I was given opportunity to speak on the president debate. So I had said this, and I can corroborate why I said that. Hate speeches, yes, it did happen before 2014, but the amount of hate speeches against Muslims have increased not 100 times more. It was the Supreme Court who had to intervene and get cases booked when the Dharam Sansas were held. Mob lynching has increased. Hijab has been made a national security issue. Azan has been made a national security issue. What I eat is being made a very controversial thing. Laws have been passed on religious conversion. Laws have been passed against interreligious marriages. You know, and then these are the things which started in 1930s of the then Germany. Then the Kristallnacht movement happened. Movies are being made. The same thing happened during in 30s in Germany. What kind of movies are being made? All with all nonsense and all, you know, complete lies. Okay, you say it's not a fact. So we are leading towards it. And when the Prime Minister stands up, he does not speak for the 133 crore people. He speaks about his ideology. How can the Prime Minister call us Guspeti? How can the Prime Minister demean the Muslim women saying they give birth to more children? Huh? Then what about, why are you opening all these centers of fertility treatment? Close them down. Can the Prime Minister understand what a woman, you know, there are so many fertility centers throughout India, in Hyderabad also. You close them down. Why are you demeaning? You criticize any other political party you want. It's part of your electioning. But to demean 14% population, what is the message is sending?
So can I ask you a counter question? When we talk about polarization, it's never one-sided. You also go to a beef shop and say, "Kaatte raho." In a country like India, when you do that, isn't that seen as polarization?
No. Am I breaking a law? No, I'm not breaking a law. I wanted to expose BJP, which have been successful. You have taken 10 crores electoral bond from a company called Alayana, which happens to have a factory in Telangana. You have no objection in taking 10 crores, but your objection to a Muslim Qureshi, whose profession has been that, who sits for 17 hours in a day and makes 500 rupees, a Kathik who opens a shop, you are against them. You want to close those shops. Day in, day out, you speak about them. So you are more into...
Huge call out from the CNN News 18 skylines in Noida. Go out and vote. And of course, pehle matdan, phir jalpan, but Amit Shah reversed.